Hey guys, Breezy Gaming TV here. I'm back with another video. And this video it's gonna be a little different than what I'm used to do. Normally I do like CSGO tutorials and stuff like that, but lately I've been seeing a lot of questions and it's harder to explain because I need to actually show visuals, right? And I'm not really used to showing visuals and stuff like that outside of like, using OBS to capture my screen. So bear with me, okay? In this video, just like the title suggests, I'm gonna talk about different grip styles for mouses, and I hope that maybe it might influence you to change your style of how you use your mouse, or maybe you can help you buy another mouse, but with better options. So, a few factors I'm gonna talk about the few factors that you should consider in the end of the video if you were going to try to buy a new mouse. But let's hope that you don't have to waste that money or spend that money, and let's see what we can do with what you have right now. So I'm pretty lucky. I have two mouse, okay? The mouse shapes that exist in the market nowadays, there's two shapes as far as I know. There's one that's ergonomic, so ergonomic would be my Rival 310 right here. It's from Steelseries, and an ambidextrous one, just like this one, the Logitech G305 here. And ergonomic means like it's more like, shaped towards one side, like this is like purely for right-handers only. They also exist for left-handers, obviously, of course. Ambidextrous means that it's the same shape and the same size everywhere, so anyone, right or left-handed, could use this mouse perfectly fine. And it's the same shape everywhere, right? Same size, it's the same from left to right, back to everywhere. It's the same shape. If I cut this in half, it's gonna be the mirror of the other side, basically. So that being said, these mouse will and can impact your way of gripping it. So let's start with, why not, with my little Logitech right here. So I'd say I have a small to medium hand size, not too big, not small, but definitely not big. And this mouse is considered as a very small one. Like I'd say small, I think small. And I find that even with my small to medium hand, I find it really hard to play palm grip with this mouse. The reason is if I palm this, I feel like my both fingers on both sides are dragging around the mat. Well, my mouse pad, right? So palm is really bad because I'm not using the full potential of it, and I feel like I'm just, a lot of too much friction on my mouse pad. The only thing I really want down would be my wrist as my stabilizer. Like when I play, I want my wrist as my stabilizer. If your wrist gets really sweaty, wear a sweater like I do, and you're fine. And you can tell by every time I'm going back to my mouse, you see that I'm gripping it differently. That's because I love using claw or fingertip with this mouse. So a claw style would be like this. Like it looks like a claw, right? Because you're just clawing it, right? This is better for a little bit of adjustments, right? You see, it's a 1, 2, 2 setup. My thumb, 2 fingers on top, and 2 on the side. Another style that I really love too, that I've been trying to get used to, is the fingertip. A fingertip is a 1, 3, 1 setup. You're gonna have a thumb on one side and a pinky on the other one, and all your 3 fingers up top, like that. Because this one is really strong because it's easy to do micro adjustments. Because normally when you're trying to get a headshot and that person is, not far enough for you to move your entire wrist, but just a little bit to like get that little micro adjustment just to shoot him, this is perfect. I find it, the fingertip is gorgeous. It's great with small mouse. So if you have a small mouse, I would say fingertip is good. But don't forget, that's proportionate to your hand size, right? So my hand is pretty small and this mouse is pretty small, so you gotta adjust to what you have. Now for this kind of mouse, like ergonomic one, or this is actually a big mouse too, so it's not just about the shape, it's also about the size. This is a medium large mouse. So for this mouse, it's hard for me to play, let's say, claw or fingertip because it's way too big. You see my micro adjustments are not as big as the other one, right? I'm trying to move it. It's not moving. Even claw is it's not bad, right? But it's just that you see how far my fingers are, and like the best travel is the far end, right? Like if you want to like get the less travel from your click registers, you don't want to click it from here. You want to click from here because it's easier to click, right? So playing claw is tough for this mouse because my hand is small. So palm is better, right? So all this to say is that it really depends on, one, your hand size to the mouse size too, and also your preference as well. I've seen people that are really stubborn, that they have a really small mouse and they play Palm and they play perfectly fine, but that's because they played that their whole life, or I don't know, they just got used to it. But I find that it's not just touching the potential, the potential of how they could aim or how they could perform in the game. I feel like if they switch their grip style around, they might even be better, even though there's gonna be that little learning curve in the beginning. Now, I have two mouse, and I don't know why, but I do, because sometimes this mouse, my cat chews the wires, and sometimes it messes up and it shuts down on me. So I have this, and they both work perfectly fine. It's just that I've been really, really loving this lately, so I'm really trying to save up money to buy the Logitech Pro wireless, because it's as good as a wired one, and it's just expensive, right? But yeah, because I'm loving that fingertip grip. It's just so good for micro adjustment, and it's great. Now, I did talk about, like, if ever you're shit out of luck and you need to buy a new mouse, well, these are the things that you might have to think of. One, the mouse shape. You want an ergonomic one or you want an ambidextrous one. They both work fine. It's just personal preference. The second thing, mouse size. Do you want a small mouse or you want a medium large mouse? Or another, the other things that I didn't talk about in this video at all is the weight. So the Logitech G305 here is around like 100 grams, and the Rival Steelseries 310 is around 88 grams. So in my book, the Logitech 305 is a heavy mouse, and this is a I'd say like medium heavy mouse, right? In the market, there's so many mouse that are around like 60 to 80 grams, and that's my preferred range. If I'm buying a mouse, I would prefer a lighter mouse because it's easier and you get less fatigue from playing it. So, because right now we're all quarantined and at home, we're probably playing a lot of video games, and you don't want to get tired of like, oh man, my mouse is really heavy and it's tiring my hands, and you need to rest because your fingers are feeling like finicky and stuff like that. You don't want that to happen. So if you're really shopping for a new mouse, these are the things that you have to consider. So, first of all, your hand size. Second of all, the mouse size. Third of all, the shape. And fourth of all, the mouse weight. So I hope that this video had shed some light on some of the older questions I had that I avoided because I wasn't really sure how to make that video. But now that I have a G305, it's kind of easier to kind of talk about different mouse size and shapes, because I didn't want to make a video with just one mouse and like act like I don't know what I'm talking about, because I couldn't really show the claw and fingertip grip. And well, I was able to do it today. So if there's any questions, let me know in the comment section below and I'll gladly answer them. Have a good day, guys.